So would you call North Korea a threat today?
But didn't they agree to meet recently, or they're gonna meet?
Well, the North Koreans and South Koreans agreed to meet.
Yeah.
The United States was against it.
Okay.
I heard the CIA guy was going to meet Kim Jong-un.
So,
Really?
I don't know. So, I don't know.
No, yeah, I just read that this morning.
But I don't know. I guess that's a sign that he's reaching out. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
he's
how-
reaching out, but is it for a good reason?
Yeah, but that's the thing. But I don't know.
Because even if they did meet, even if like North Korea did open itself a little bit to the world would just try to change their government.
The stories of what they're doing to South Korea already, though, before the diplomatic thing, I mean, would the United States really want to get involved in that when their treatment to other countries right now isn't already good and they're already calling names?
I feel like they could be a potential threat, but because the United States Army and Air Force and all of the above is so immensely well guarded and well trained, I feel like we could instantly take them down in a sense, just because we have had stuff like this happen in the past, like in World War I, World War II, all that kind of stuff, and we were easily the superpower that kind of geared the path in the right direction. You know
But
what
in
I'm
both
saying?
of those wars, there wasn't another country that had a nuclear weapon.
That
There
is
wasn't that
true.
risk. Even if we did attack North Korea, they would try to launch a missile. And they would probably get the support of China and potentially Russia, since Russia has been kind of talking about it. But recently, especially as I've noticed last year, China has been a little bit ticked off with North Korea lately. They've been sending North Korea less of the needed supplies since they're North Korea's top supplier. And so my question to you guys is, would you say that because of China's like a growing embargo, or I guess you could say sanctions on North Korea, could you say that North Korea is doing diplomatic relations with South Korea because of these sanctions? Like they have no other choice?
They probably are, because I know a lot of like natural resources are imported into North Korea, like oil and like food.
Yeah, but they're coming from China.
Yeah, no, and since those sanctions are gone, I know that like they're going to like maybe limit that in a sense, that they're not giving them as much oil, if I'm not mistaken. I can see why their next effort would be going to their neighbors right underneath them in order to get those resources. So it's not surprising.
Do you guys think that North Korea's missile system is even working? Like, do you think they're even advancing into that?
Well, the first couple of times they did it didn't like actually became successful. Like some of them blew up as soon as they reached to the sky. But before, like, I wouldn't say it's like actually working. But if North Korea is willing to have like the time to like actually advance it, they could get it to work sooner or later.
Well, yeah, wasn't there, didn't someone recently come out saying that there was no advance in North Korea's part?
Oh yeah, there was. It was a refugee.
Yeah.
It was a refugee. I believe he was a sergeant in the North Korean army.
Yeah, it's like within the army, I know that much. I don't know, yeah, see, North Korea isn't much of a threat. They're reaching out politically, trying to make peace, I guess.
I guess it could be, and like we say before, it could be because of the limits that are being put into their imports.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's also, does it really matter, the reason, I guess? I don't know.
Well, what could be another reason that they want diplomatic relations?
Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to say, I don't think the reason matters. As long as they're reaching out, they're opening themselves up to maybe eventually in the future to change. Like, for example, the Olympics, I know they partner up with South Korea for the ice skating thing. So that I don't think they get any benefits from that necessarily.
Oh, well, do you guys think that's some sort of trick? Because I know that's kind of out there, but for years, North Korea has been trying to take over South Korea, trying to make South Korea into their government.
And there was rumors of the South Korean president or whatever it's called, that he was helping out North Korea
He was helping out North Korea.
Yeah, this one and the previous one, the previous
North
two.
Koreans are gonna look bad. They're right next to them, and they're having probably the absolute opposite effect on the media. So, sure, they try to.
Would you say that the United States has a right to try to intervene in this? Because the United States has been trying to say, no, you can't do that. You guys can't agree with each other because North Korea is the bad guys. We got to take them over. But if you agree to them, then they're going to be your problem again. Because that's what the United States doesn't want happening. They don't want North Korea to have diplomatic relations with South Korea. Do you think our country's right in doing that?
Yeah. I mean, North Korea is like, Kim Jong-un, he's so, like, he's tricky, like, how he acts and everything. Like, he acts like, he tells his people he is a god. They all believe he is a god, but we all know in America, he's nothing like that. He's seen, like, the way he's seen on, like, media, he's just someone who tries to trick people into, like, doing what he wants, and he's, like, a threat to America. But I don't know, like, in a way, like, with the Olympics, like, how they joined with South Korea for, like, hockey and stuff, it could be a way, like, for him, like, maybe to actually have a treaty with them, like, not be, like, such a threat to each other, and be more, like a coalition country together.
Yeah, I don't think North Korea would ever be able to take over South Korea. They wouldn't let that happen. There's no way they would.
Neither would
Once you,
America.
yeah. Once you have the taste for freedom, I don't think you would want to resort back to like what's happened in North Korea. I don't think the people of South Korea would ever, and that would be a good idea. If anything, it would be the other way around. I think that would be more likely to happen. South Korea doing that. I mean, both are really unlikely, but I definitely wouldn't see that. That America would definitely put their foot down and intervene.
No, but the thing that could happen, it could be something over time that they slowly take the rights away or something. Like North Korea didn't happen over a day. That's kind of slowly brainwashing type of thing. So I feel like if they started working together, or they could somehow like take some rights away, make them unnoticeable basically until it gets to this point that there's no difference between North Korea and South Korea.
Or it could be an ambush.
Yeah, I
Because
guess
then,
more
like,
than
they're going to
two.
start, South Korea's going to start lowering their guard, and then North Korea's going to be like, oh, I'm going to take my huge army, and wham, I'm going to wake up all the sleeper cells I have in South Korea, because apparently there's over 5,000 North Korean sleeper cells, like people working for North Korea waiting for like a secret like activation code for them to do something.
What's South Korea's military like?
South Korea's military. Well, they have technological support from the United States. They have, I think most of their weapons, their vehicles, their air force comes directly from the United States, but they don't have a missile defense system because they rejected that from the United States. But on their own, people say they could have a stance against North Korea, but it would be a very bloody battle because comparing South Korea's army to North Korea's army is bigger. And if South Korea didn't have support from the United States, then it would be, I guess you would say it would be a longer war, but I guess North Korea might come on top because of its size, but even though South Korea has much more advanced technology than they do.
They might have more resources too. Think about it. A lot of the population of Korea is starving, if I'm not mistaken.
So most of their food is going to the higher ups.
Yeah. So I mean, it can almost be like war of attrition. So, just like waiting it out. And eventually, I think South Korea can take over. And that's if it didn't result in nuclear war. If North Korea didn't, bomb South Korea, then yeah.
Like what if it didn't? How would it turn out?
Well, then it would just be, another war.
That would probably be how the U.S. would get involved too. If it was like it became a nuclear war over there, then it would potentially come one over here. But that probably had to be the first pebble.
So hopefully, if it didn't, then maybe the U.S. would get involved and they would use nuclear missiles. I don't know.
I mean, I feel
Maybe just put the Star Wars program over.
if North Korea
Just like-
invaded South Korea, just a little bit, America would get right into it as fast as we can.
Oh, we would. would.
Like other countries would.
Yeah. Like just
The U.S.
all out.
military is stationed in Japan too.
North Korea tries to take over, and they let open their guards open, everyone's gonna go after them. Because they see Kim Jong-un as like such a wild card threat. Like, he has nuclear weapons, and he's like this just some little guy who doesn't really know, like he thinks he's a god, and he makes his people see that way. I mean, any country will want to try to get rid of him.
Yeah, there have been multiple attempts to take his life, and actually, one of the failed attempts was like a poisonous towel that they tried giving him, but they accidentally gave it to Kim Jong-un's brother, and it ended up killing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stepbrother or half brother. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I thought it was his actual brother.
Isn't he?
Well, then again, Kim Jong-il had a ton. Kim Jong-il had a ton of wives, and he killed almost all of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was his half brother.
If there was a war, there's also like rumors that China went back to Korea. You also have to remember that. That would be.
Well, it depends on who strikes first.
Yeah.
If North Korea attacked first, then China wouldn't take their side, because then if China took their side, it's like, oh crap, we're
It's
taking
only
the side of
North Korea
criminals.
attack.
Yeah, because
That's what I recall.
yeah, Trump's been preaching about what is it, preliminary strikes against North Korea, like taking down missile sites before we actually attack them. We already know where most of those are, so if we did, because we do have like, I think we would have sent in Thunderbirds A-10s. They're really fast movers, and he said he would send those in and destroy the missile sites, or destroy places in North Korea that are vital to his economy, whatever's left of it. I mean, does anyone else think like that China would support North Korea if we attack?
Well, literally, who was it? Was it Russia or China that said they will,
Both.
yeah, support North Korea if the U.S. attacks first?
Both.
Was it? All right, well,
Both did, but I don't think Russia was being real lenient on it. Like they weren't being real serious. Like, oh yeah, if the United States attacks, we'll just support North Korea. But if any other country did, then they probably wouldn't.
Is China the one the U.S. is in debt to?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be bad? Just saying if that was war.
yeah.
If we were in debt to Britain, we still be.
Yeah.
Like they can call in debts as much as they want. We'll still be able to fund our army. I mean, out of every other country in the world, the United States has the largest war economy. In every war, in every single war that the United States has been in, they've made advancements faster than any other country, even Germany during World War II.